Hi,
Hola.
and welcome to the What Did You Think podcast, episode
13.
third, uh, um,
13. Yeah.
episode 13.
Woo.
Yeah,
I'm double checking.
yeah, we've been doing this for so long, it's just kind of really hard for us to keep track of how many we've done. Not that it's a bad thing, I'm just saying it's really good. So,
Right. It's a good problem to have for sure.
right.
But while I'm looking this up, you seem to be in a bit of a predicament.
Yeah. So as you can see, there's a few things that are have changed temporarily, and a few things that are remaining the same, hopefully permanently. For me. Also, you may have noticed for the past few episodes, I've had these headphones on. I have lost my AirPods. I have no clue where they
Mm.
are, and that's basically how I edit all the Spotify and podcast like audio only stuff because I do it at work, and without the AirPods, I can't really just bring in a headset because then they're gonna like my work will be upset with me. A few other things. My dog demolished my
Oh my goodness.
earphones, so I have no foam in my right ear. We are living with scraps over here. The chair is the same, but there's a different background. No, it's not green screen. I know what you guys are thinking. It's not. No, we just got a couch and it's a nice couch. It's over there. You'll never see it. Maybe, who knows. But this was my old couch along with what I used to sleep on when I was in high school.
Nice.
Because like we moved to a smaller house, so I got a futon. I was planning on getting married a few years after high school anyways, so might as well just use this as the couch. I was doing the two birds, one stone. I was investing. So
Right, right.
my parents were fine with getting me a futon. It was a lot cheaper than like a bed, so we got the futon. It was nice. It did wonders. It was fine. And then it broke whenever Cameron came over to our house one day
What are you talking
when I was
about?
married, and he sat on it and destroyed the couch.
Here's the
Uh,
deal. Isaac has the exact same futon. I sat on the same side of that futon and it held. It held the line. So I think let's think about the actual. It was Maya. It's Maya.
it probably is my dog.
Yeah.
No, but
Considering
new
it broke
couch
before
doesn't
you
mean
got
why the
her.
whole background is
Right.
different. We're actually doing some painting, so none of the posters are there, and we've got a lot of like trash on my desk. So as a result, we just have another background with other trash. And I
Nice.
wanted to keep some movie poster, but you probably can't even tell what it is. It's
Uh,
just
is that the Japanese Star Wars poster?
it's the Japanese Empire Strikes Back poster.
Yeah.
Um, and in the reflection, you can see I do have two posters left here, but it would just look awkward with there only being the two posters on one wall and the other wall. Oh,
Just
well, all right. I will say also, I'm more comfortable. I'm more
yeah.
comfortable here because you can't tell, but where I normally sit, I have like a little filing cabinet where my legs can go. So I have to sit with like my legs hugging the filing cabinet. Super uncomfortable. So as you like see me like adjust myself several times during the podcast, it's because
Hmm.
like I'm just not comfortable. But I got, a little ottoman here for my legs. So also you guys got a piano in the background
Oh
as well.
yeah.
So
He's a he's a very musically inclined fool, and of course by that I mean I've never seen him play it. But you know what? For all I know, he is the next Beethoven. I did look it up. This is episode 13, so we were right about that. It's not 8:30. It might not even be Tuesday. I'm gonna try to get it out on Tuesday, but
we'll
it is
see.
late.
It is
So
late.
for everyone who watched this when it comes out, I'm sorry. And for probably more people who watch it later, this doesn't mean anything to you.
Right. This is gonna be like a this is not a well organized episode.
No.
Um, Especially because like I went to go see the movie today, left due to some like different things that happened,
Right. With like
and
a third of the movie left.
I
Yeah.
had like half of it left. And I was like, yeah, Cameron, I'll just, I'll go online and do my pirating skills and try to find the movie. Since I already paid for the ticket, I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm fine with doing that. But the only version I could find was a version in Hindi. So after watching about maybe 10 minutes in Hindi, I realized like, okay, I'm just gonna do better if like I read a really in-depth synopsis of what happened. And Cameron
Yeah.
told me a
Oh,
little bit too,
nice.
along with Isaac. So I all the research this episode has been brought from, different sources of like Hindi sites, and IMDb. So, and Cameron and Isaac.
The
So,
best sources to cite on any college paper.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
let's dive headfirst straight into this thing. We
Sure.
watch. Wait, did you guys hear that?
Oh, come in.
Oh, oh, don't mind that, guys. It was just someone knocking at my cabin. Yeah, knock at the cabin. Directed by M. Night Shyamalan and starring Dave Bautista, Jonathan Groff, Rupert Grint, Nikki Amuka-Bird, Ben Aldridge. Wow, I'm doing great with all these names. Abby Quinn and Kristen Cui.
Well done.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Um, we saw this in Dolby, and how great was the knocking sound?
It was exquisite, I would
Yeah,
say. Yeah.
rang through both of my ears.
Yeah, and glorious surround sound. Like the characters were like over here, and the knock happened over here. And I was like, "Whoa! Did someone knock at the
No,
theater?"
I do really like Dolby, but this movie, I don't know why it was in Dolby at all. So
I just think that every big uh release gets a Dolby release. So I think it's just a. I think we should just go right into talking about the movie.
sure, yeah, let's do
Let's
it.
not waste any more time. Ben, what of the like half that you saw and other half you read, what did you think?
I thought it was underwhelming. It was underwhelming. I was really excited for this because the way I look at M. Night Shyamalan's work is that like he'll make like a really great movie, and then he'll have like four bombs in a row, and then he'll make just another banger, and then I'm like, oh shoot. Well, I wasn't a fan of Old. I know you were.
Yeah,
Um, and like Glass was pretty bad from what I've heard. Uh,
absolutely atrocious.
Split, I think, was just not as good. It was carried by James McAvoy like crazy. Like he is by far the best part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it was just like, eh.
Which
But
I mean,
with all
when the person who's carrying the movie is the main character, it's not the worst possible thing.
right,
Yeah.
right. But I will say with all these movies, what I will always get and what I always love is the Shyamalan twist. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all I'm gonna say about that because obviously
Obviously, yeah.
the
Spoiler
the
section.
twist of this movie is the spoiler, so we're
Right.
gonna wait. But I will say I was underwhelmed, like I said. I like Dave Bautista. I think he's a lot of fun, and I don't think he was bad in the movie. I just thought everyone was okay. I didn't I think Daddy Eric stood out the most as like
We should probably explain a little bit about the plot before you go around calling people Daddy Eric. So, um, the premise of this movie is, and I don't want to give too much away because this is really one of those movies that going in blind, if possible, helps a lot. But essentially, it's a family, two dads and their daughter are in like this vacation cabin kind of thing, and then spoiler alert, someone knocks at the cabin. Dude, how are we at like four right now? Four knock at the cabin jokes, and I wouldn't even call them jokes. And and then the four strangers make their way inside and tell them that if all goes according to plan, they one of the family members will have to kill another family member for them to leave. Uh, so a bunch of events happen, and it's pretty interesting.
interesting.
If that premise
Yes.
sounds cool to you, I would stop the episode now
Yeah.
because we are going to divulge a little bit more information. We're not going to say anything that isn't in the trailers, but I think the
But
trailers give too much away.
way too much away.
So I would say if you're interested, go watch it now and then come back. Uh, but if you want a little bit more, your loss, I guess.
Hmm. So with this, you bring it up perfectly. In hindsight, I was like fine with what the trailer showed, or not in hindsight. When watching it originally, not the movie, but the trailer itself, I was fine with what it showed because it's M. Night Shyamalan, and I'm like, you know what? Chances are this trailer could be like. Have you seen The Village?
Yeah.
Okay, the trailer leads it up to be this thriller horror movie, and in reality, The Village is a romance with some like intense moments, suspenseful moments. And um that's a big reason why The Village is really hated, is because of how the trailers compare to the movies. And I was thinking we're just going to get another Village scenario with this, and unfortunately it was not the case. It was kind of just like, oh man, they really do just reveal like pretty much what I would like if you watch the trailer, I would say you don't need to watch the movie to like figure out what can happen, what's going to
Yeah,
happen.
it is. It's very similar to the Homecoming trailer, Spider-Man Homecoming, where you watch the Homecoming trailer and it's less of a trailer and more of a like brief summary of the movie. As with M. Night Shyamalan stuff, there is obviously stuff that you don't see in the trailer, but you do get too much information. But Ben, we're not reviewing the trailer. We're reviewing the movie.
That's true.
And
It's
you were
true.
talking about Daddy Eric. So
Yeah, I think Daddy. I think both daddies are the best in the movie. Every other actress and actor is just fine. Dave Bautista's fine. The girl that plays Adrian, Rupert Grint was fine. Like no one stood out. I think the only one that was not good, and I can't even falter at this because she's a child actress, but it's the girl that plays Win. I mean, but child actresses and child actors in general are, hit or miss. And I mean, she's at least acting in a movie while me and Cameron are critiquing this, so kudos to her for actually like getting these roles. So, I'm not bashing her at all. I'm not one of those people to bash
bro,
children actors in general.
you're not you're not the Razzies giving a worst actress nomination to the girl from Firestarter.
That's so terrible. That's
Yeah.
so mean. That's how the kid that played Anakin and the Phantom Menace just like literally ruined his career of just people bashing these children actors.
Hmm.
Because if it wasn't for children actors, I mean, you can at least train them and like teach them on how to be better. They're already in the industry. That's good.
Maybe
Well,
I'm like biased on nostalgia. I don't even think Anakin did that bad in the Phantom Menace.
I don't think so either, but I just
Like,
think it's like that generation um like before us. So was it millennials or
no idea.
yeah,
Probably.
but they just, were super excited for another Star Wars movie coming out. And then they get this, which arguably the Phantom Menace is pretty bad. And then like I guess one thing they could make fun of was the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
Either way,
I
get the
I
cow.
actually disagree with you on the acting. I think not. I think the little girl did amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
you've also seen more of the movie than I have,
there
so
there is there is really one scene that sticks out from her that's kind of like, but like you said, it's a kid. But she actually does better than you would expect from child acting, especially with this being her first role.
yeah,
Um,
that's
and
awesome.
also I disagree with you on Rupert Grint doing fine. I think he did pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, really?
Uh, he is supposed to be like this country boy, and he is
You can
still
hear his
very
accent.
British.
You can hear his
He is
accent
very
like in
British.
his country accent that
Yeah.
he's doing. I told Sarah, and Sarah looked at me and with like he just like it's like he's trying so hard to sound south, which I don't understand why do
I feel
movies
like,
always cast British people to play Southerners? It's like doing a flat American accent. I feel like
I
is
mean, if
easier.
it works, right? That's what matters. But if he's just so he's struggling the whole movie.
You can tell too.
And Dave Bautista, when I initially watched it, I didn't care for his performance. It's grown on me in hindsight. I do appreciate it a bit more. I still think Drax is his best character, but he just has longer time with Drax to do more things.
Mm,
Um, I think the standout performance in this movie is two people, Jonathan Groff and the Abby Quinn, who plays the girl who I always forget her name.
Adrian.
Yeah. Those two performances I think were stand out as actually kind of incredible.
I liked both daddies. I thought they were the best.
Mm-hmm.
But also, other than that though, I will say another. I don't even want to say issue because this could be the theater that we watched it in with Dolby. Dolby's just loud. Okay, it's just loud, and I didn't think the score was good at all. And it being in Dolby for me made it worse because it was so much louder. And like stuff that's not needing to be suspenseful, I have like this like insane stringy soundtrack going on in the background while I'm watching like Daddy Eric put on a shirt or something. I'm like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
But I didn't care for the score at all, and there was some moments where I felt like it was actually taking me out of the movie. I will also say there's just like some plot holes here, at least for the beginning part for me, because I haven't finished it.
Okay.
Like there is,
Do we want to
there,
go into our minor spoiler section where we talk?
yeah, we're gonna get
Okay.
into our minor
Minor
spoiler
spoiler
section.
section. Trailer details are being revealed. This is Editor Cameron. Excuse the poor audio. I couldn't figure this thing out. But this is pretty much a full spoiler review from here on out. So I would just say take it as such. There is a more in-depth spoiler review later where we talk about stuff outside of the trailer. But if you haven't seen the trailer and you haven't seen the movie and you are worried about not knowing too much, stop here for sure because it is essentially a full spoiler review from here on out. That's how bad the trailer is. Yeah.
Go
So
ahead, or
I
yeah.
was just gonna say, Ben, why are the people there? So you
Well,
can make your bigger point.
they're there to stop the apocalypse.
Oh,
Literally, the trailer shows these four people, I don't know any of their names, are breaking inside this cabin and they are forcing this family to choose and sacrifice somebody so that way the apocalypse stops or is like avoided. Through the trailer, we see a scene of like planes crashing and stuff like that and like tsunami waves taking over. Which this like is spoiler stuff. This is
that's
legitimately
legitimately
spoiler
spoil
stuff.
stuff. Yeah, but like it's in the trailer.
And it's not like just thrown in there with the trailer of like, oh, I wonder what that could be. It's like the trailer explains what it is
Mm-hmm.
in the trailer itself. So you can piece it together before you even see the movie, and it's not that hard to piece together.
Right.
Um, so like the tsunami scene in the movie, it's like through a newscaster's camera's point of view. But then when the wave hits, it's still filming, like, and the camera's working perfectly fine underwater. It's just like it's that one. I thought that was amusing.
Yeah.
Sarah mentioned that to me, but yeah, it just reveals way too much, and I think that is one of its biggest downfalls for me and for this movie.
Yeah. So yeah, but for people in the future who maybe weren't paying attention or whatever, they didn't see the trailer or they've forgotten the trailer, they're gonna have a better time with this movie, and it's because they're not gonna know what's happening. But the aspect of the apocalypse does make this a more interesting movie than what it would be otherwise. Because if it was just these people, oh, we're bad people breaking into your house, making you do bad things, then that's kind of one note. It's kind of boring. But if the people in the house are just as scared as the people who they've broken into, then that makes an interesting dynamic of
Yeah.
like nobody in the situation wants to be here, but it's just about this group of people who don't want to be here convincing this group of people who don't want to be here to do this thing that nobody wants anyone to do, you
Uh-huh.
know.
Yeah.
And it's actually a really interesting dynamic, and I think it's a nice shift on the home invasion plot.
I think the best home invasion plot I've seen is do we consider Parasite to be home invasion?
In a
Because
way,
if so, that is the best one. But if we're not, I think Strangers is really good. Have you seen that?
I've heard of it. I saw the kill count. Shout out to the kill count team.
Shout out to James A. Janice.
And
Hopefully he'll do a kill count episode of one of our series
yeah,
of
I hope we don't
episodes.
have a
That'd be terrible.
yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, no. um, well, but I think this is original, and I think you said this, and if so, I'm gonna agree with you. Where I think this is better as a book. Um,
It started as a book. It's an adaptation.
yeah. Well, what I'm saying is that I think it's the book form is better
Yeah.
than the movie, and which I mean is not a shocker to anybody. Typically, the book is better than the movie, but with this, I felt like there's just a lot left out. Whereas with a book, you can spend more time with some things because
Yeah.
I feel like with every character except for Adrian, I don't care for that are part of the home invaders. And
Hmm.
maybe the book does a better job at making you like these characters, but like I said, Adrian is the only one I actually cared for and actually like had some emotional feeling towards. Whereas the other characters, like I only cared about the family that was tied up. I didn't care
Right.
what happened to the rest of these other
And
people.
in a way, that's kind of on purpose, not to the extent that you're talking about. I think we're supposed to know about and a little bit about all of them. Adrian is intentionally making herself more relatable because
Yeah.
uh she's trying to connect with the family, so that it would make sense that you know about her the most. But yeah, I do think that we probably should have got a little bit more time with the home invaders, in like a learning kind of way. Um, but I don't know. Me and Isaac, after the movie, we were talking, and we have this big feeling because, like, we were the ones who stayed, me, Isaac, and Eli, and we were talking, and we're like, this seems like there's something missing, but we can't really
Hmm.
put our finger on it. It just once you sit through the whole movie, and you're like, there's something that I feel like there's like something that either got cut out or something or one thing or another led to this movie feeling kind of empty by the end of
Hmm.
it. Because like if you look at it individually, all the parts work out pretty well. The acting's mostly good. The setup is interesting, and even the cinematography is pretty great. Uh Actually exceptional, because when you're in a kind of smaller, this is all takes
You're
place
in
in the
the cabin
cabin.
like for the whole movie.
So when you're in a smaller place like that, you have to get creative with camera work, or else it gets boring. And
Hmm.
the visuals of the movie never get boring. It just feels like not enough. It doesn't feel like there's enough substance there
Hmm.
to be wholly satisfying. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like all I have to say now are spoilers. So,
Okay. So we
was there
can.
anything you were wanting to say
I think we can just
before?
do our little summaries, and then we can get into the spoiler
Gotcha.
section. I I enjoyed it enough. I think it's talking about it makes it sound like I disliked it more than I did. I had a good time watching it. I just don't have a lot of good things to say about it, other than a couple of the performances and the cinematography stand out as really well done, and everything else is just okay.
Yeah. Um, as for me, like I said, I was disappointed. I was really looking forward to this movie. After the first trailer, that was like that actually kept stuff hidden, that actually
Hmm.
had the mystery. Because even with that first trailer of saying to avoid the apocalypse, that's that was still a good trailer because of
Because we didn't know
what was
what we
gonna
know
happen.
from the second
And
trailer. Yeah,
yeah. So I don't know. Just another, I mean, it's just an issue with the trailer, and honestly, just felt like it was a half-baked project. I feel like they could have spent a lot more time on this to make it, even better. And maybe even have Rupert Grint get some help with his accent.
maybe, maybe. So before we get into the spoilers, uh, we gotta have a little bit of time for people who don't want the
Yeah.
spoilers to leave. So this episode has a sponsor. That is sponsored by me. Um, I
Okay.
yeah.
Sure,
Uh,
sure.
Fans of the What Did You Think podcast might be interested to know we've had our first guest appearance on a different channel. It
Yeah, we
just so
have.
happens that that channel is run by me. Um, so me and the guest on episode 4 of this podcast, known as Isaac Brooks, we have a production company. For you audio listeners, I just did very big air quotes. What that means is Isaac and Eli, which are Ben's brother and my brother respectively, when they were in middle school, made a project for a grade that was around 9 minutes long, and it was an anti-bullying project. That little short thing got so popular around our school that there is now a sequel in production, not for a grade, and I have been brought on as a writer director. So our production company, return of the air quotes, is called Knuckle Sandwich Films. It will be linked in the description where you can find our update videos and trailer for the sequel to the movie. We can also find the original movie. The original movie is called Revengers. Ben is a huge fan, as is most people who watch it.
Jeez. This
And
is this is an ad. This is actually an ad
I
that you
said it
just
was sponsorship. And the sequel has been in production for over 2 years, not because we're working that long, but because we are getting distracted. Go to the description below, watch the original movie, watch the trailer for the second movie, and watch the update videos, and you'll be up to date on the lore of the Revengers universe, and you'll be along with our like 20 other fans who are anxiously awaiting for so long for this
and
movie
if
to
you
come out.
don't care, you don't have to watch it. That's the beauty of YouTube and
Yeah,
everything
man.
else.
Thanks for
I,
that,
I
Ben.
I watched it. I enjoyed it. It's very fun. I was honored to be a part of just, the
Yeah.
small little video that you guys made. And I hope it comes out. I mean, I'm also worried if it comes out because I know I told you we'd do an episode on it.
Yeah.
So
No, that has been one of the biggest points of motivation for me is getting to I know I'll have a good time with that, but I know you'll feel like we're wasting time with doing an episode on it. I do not
yeah,
care. I do not care. I'm so excited to waste your time with that.
do I
Uh
want to watch a feature length?
you're gonna watch it whether we make an episode on it or not. All right, Ben. I'm gonna make you watch it.
Maybe. I'll
But
think about it.
I think we should probably just get straight into the spoiler section now that our ad is over. What do you think, Ben?
Sure.
All right, Ben. Spoilers are fair game. What is the thing? What is your spoiler review of Knock at the Cabin?
Dude, there's so many spoilers, but I think the biggest spoiler is that there is no Shyamalan twist.
Yeah,
Literally, if you watch the trailer, that is exactly what happens in the movie.
yeah.
That is it.
The twist
And
is that there is no twist. Ooh.
like I was saying in the beginning, is that I always love the Shyamalan twist. It's iconic, you know? Every movie that he has is like, oh, there's the twist.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the Shyamalan twist. And it's typically like fun. It's like it's fun, you know?
Mm-hmm.
This is maybe the twist is there is no twist, like you said. And I don't know, but it's super disappointing, especially when you show everything in the trailer that there's nothing new to the movie. You know what I mean? The the whole like I guess the only thing that is not answered is this family going to choose to sacrifice one of their own, or are they just gonna let everyone die? That's it.
Yeah. Um, I will say I think the anticipation of a twist, so it could be on me and Isaac, it could be on us. The anticipation of a twist and the lack of a twist might have led to us having that disappointing, empty feeling. But at the same time, I think it is interesting that there's no twist. I think it's interesting that the people in the cabin are right, that there
Yeah.
is an apocalypse going on, because they do sprinkle enough evidence for both sides. They sprinkle
Well,
evidence for this could be happening, and there's also enough evidence for this could not be happening. There's enough going on where you think it's like possible that they're making it all up and they're just home invaders. And the fact that they're right is interesting.
yeah.
Um, I will say the fact that it is real makes one thing that I initially thought could have been cool if it wasn't real into just a straight up complaint, which is there when they turn on the news to show that planes are falling out of the sky, the CGI is quite bad. It is not very good at all. And I was initially thinking, oh, they made it bad on purpose because these are fake news channels that are supposed to be evidence that these people are making. If that's the twist, that's pretty cool. But they're real news channels, and that was really supposed to be happening. And it just looked like bad, like green screen YouTube plane crashes. Um,
Yeah.
So I thought, slight tangent, but and major spoilers for Don't Worry, Darling. But at the end of Don't Worry, Darling, at the end of Don't Worry, Darling, we find out that the world they live in is a simulation and all that stuff. And I thought that everyone dogged on Henry Styles for somehow having a bad British accent.
His name
And
is Harry.
Harry
Also,
Styles, my
not
bad.
Henry.
Oh no.
We just lost all of our Harry Style fans. And we're also,
Oh,
what did you
I'm so
think
sorry,
fans?
dude. I'm so sorry, Mr. Henry Styles. Oh no, I did it again. No. Okay.
No, you're thinking
Yeah.
of The Last of Us, man.
Yeah.
What
But
it's for Sam and Henry. They cast Harry
I'm Harry
Styles
Styles.
to be Henry in The Last of Us.
But
Sam.
but somehow Harry Styles had a bad British accent in Don't Worry, Darling. And a lot of people dogged on him for that. I think it was on purpose because in the movie he's an American playing a British person. And so if he had a bad British accent, it might have subtly been a hint that something was wrong. Maybe that's giving it too much credit.
Way too
I
much
think Don't
credit.
Worry, Darling is better than people say. So maybe I'm just giving the movie too much credit. But I thought that the plain CGI was kind of a Harry Styles British accent kind of situation where it could have been like
A red
it's
herring.
right on the edge where it's like, oh, maybe it's fake, maybe it's on purpose, but in this case it's just as bad. But another, I said Jonathan Groff and Abby Quinn make this movie for me, in my opinion. And Abby Quinn dies in like 40 minutes. So
Yeah, she died like right as I was
there's,
leaving.
yeah, there is most of the movie where she's not part of it. And that's a problem. A very similar problem. Spoilers for a different movie. If I say what movie, okay, spoilers for Burning. Uh
No. Actually, I need to watch that.
oh, so you don't want me to say anything?
Well, no, go ahead.
You could take your headphones off and I'll give you
Mm,
the okay to put them back on. When in
so
Burning,
I can't reach one.
when the best character in the movie is the girl character, I forget their names, and then like the point of the movie is that she disappears and he has to find out what happened to her. When your best character disappears, it kind of makes the rest of the movie not as good, even if the movie is interesting because they're gone. If it would be more interesting when they're there, you've made a mistake. So maybe you need to make your other characters more interesting, or you need to rework the story to make it work without that character, or rework the story to where you can keep that character. Okay, Ben seems to be going through way more problems, having to wait for me to stop talking. So I'm just gonna put the sheet down and give him the thumbs up. That
As a
was,
as a very hilarious bit,
yeah,
I
no, I was
poured
watching. You poured water all down your front and your head.
it's like in my shirt.
That was so funny.
Nipples are moist. So and not in a good way.
Oh,
By the way, Cameron, I completely agree with that point.
thank you. So yeah, anyway, I want to like this movie a lot more than I do. I don't like it horribly. Like I still enjoyed it and I would recommend it to people, kind of. But
Really?
I don't want to, I can't go out. I wanted to be able to come on here and be like, guys, Knock at the Cabin was one of the best movies of the year so far, but I just can't do that.
Yeah. It's disappointing. For sure. For me. Like, yeah. Literally the trailer shows Rupert Grint dying.
Yeah.
Which we did not need more of him.
No.
Then there was like a red herring type thing with him being involved with the couple before. Like he assaulted them at a bar. But that has nothing to do with the movie at all. I
Yeah.
thought, because what I thought when you told me that was everyone is going to have some connection with this family. Because what I thought the twist was, and I think maybe you and Isaac did too, was that when was the daughter of um
Dave
uh
Bautista.
Dave Bautista, and that he organized this group of so like say like this couple sued Rupert Grint's character or got him some jail time. I think this was just their version of payback on this couple. And then at the end, it's gonna be like the twist reveal of like, oh
Yeah, I didn't think that Dave Bautista and the daughter were related at all, but I did think that something along those lines had to be going
I was just
on.
trying to think of a twist that the movie would do, and I mean, I was wrong.
Yeah, Rupert Grint having a bad past with the couple, like it plays into the movie, but not the way they set it up. It is just another piece of evidence to go on the side of maybe this isn't real, because they're constantly trying to balance out that scale of like keep it just back and forth enough to where the family and the audience doesn't know if it's real or not. And the fact that that is set up as like a big thing, it doesn't go anywhere beyond just another piece of evidence. It's not, it doesn't tie in anything bigger. And especially him being the first one of the invaders to die, because that's how the apocalypse starts, is when the invaders get killed.
Which also, what if they just don't
kill each other?
Then the plagues won't happen.
Yeah. Seemed like a pretty simple fix to me, but I don't
right.
Yeah, so I don't know. And it does turn out that he is the same guy, and so that leaves the question, why did he change his name?
We
Especially
never know.
for his group. Like I don't know why they would care. And if they didn't know what family they were invading, then it wouldn't matter what name he went by. There's enough, I don't know. See,
yeah.
But
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like it's the little stuff when it doesn't connect that it just like makes it really seem like it's a useless side quest to the movie. And the movie's already like an hour and 40 minutes. Like they would have been fine if us just not having that part. You know what I mean? Because it's at that moment it just takes up time,
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to make the movie longer than it is. I don't know. That's just it's an issue for me. And I don't know, just I have a lot of issues with the movie. I think it's fine. I think it's good. But I think it's average. I really do.
Yeah, and I think we get and some more positives. I think the different opinions of the dads and the couple actually bring a different element of suspense, where the initial argument is this real? And then in a worse written movie, once that argument is settled, they would make a decision to be done. But what's interesting about this is, as the evidence starts to stack up that it is real, and eventually they go outside and they see a plane crash for themselves, they know that it's real. The argument doesn't stop. The debate, the turmoil doesn't end there. Now, one of them is like, let's just let the world die, and we'll stay together. And then the other one is trying to convince him that's like, no, we got to save the world. That it keeps it going. And I think that was really interesting, that they found a way to keep it interesting, even because after so long, you're not going to be able to hide. You're not going to realistically be able to hide the apocalypse.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Cameron, then let me ask you this question as I scratch my armpit. What would you do in this situation? Say it's you and I.
Oh,
we are the couple.
Okay.
In this movie, and we've got our beautiful daughter Isaac.
Okay.
That is.
Well, if Isaac's our daughter,
or Maya,
we'll just Maya. Oh snap! It's Maya. I was gonna say just sacrifice Isaac.
I'd be fine with that.
But
no. So you and I are the couple, and we've got our daughter Maya.
You never know what you do in a real situation, but I want to say that I'd sacrifice myself for humanity.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I'd also be fine with you.
How would the podcast go on, Cameron?
Would you want to sacrifice Maya? Actually, you know what? Maya's bit my ankles way too many times, dude.
That's so true. All honesty,
here's
I probably wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, here's the real actual question is, Ben, you and Sarah are at a cabin with Maya. What do you do in this situation?
Probably nothing. I mean, I don't know. Like, this is so dumb. Obviously, this will never happen. But I would first try to reason, be like, what if you guys stop killing each other? Then maybe this stuff's not gonna happen. And then when Dave Bautista goes, no, it's the only way to do this thing. I got it through a message board. I'm like, oh shoot. We're probably like, there's no shot on earth I'm killing Sarah or Maya. Sarah is no shot killing me or Maya. I
Yeah.
think that's just when the world ends. I don't really think we're making a choice. I mean, we haven't been married for a year yet, so it's not like we both secretly hate each other, you know? So
Right, but that's the point. In the movie they show the point of them being the sacrificed families because there is no that it's because their love is so pure, you know? They love each other despite the world hating them for doing so, and then they adopted the daughter because even though no one wanted the daughter because of her cleft palate or whatever it's called,
yeah.
it's like they all love each other despite so many things going wrong, and their love is so pure it has to be sacrificed for humanity or whatever. um yeah, I don't know. I can't believe you'd kill all of our listeners
I
just for your wife. What?
I mean, I'd probably die too if it is the apocalypse. I'm like, shoot.
Yeah,
Plus,
and then at
here's the
that
thing
point,
too.
why not just die for everyone else, right? If you're gonna die too.
No, so hear me out, hear me out. With this whole thing, because we don't know if it's real or not, you know. So we'd probably wait for them to kill someone else, you know, and then we'll see all this stuff happening. By that time, by the first plague, all of our audience is probably dead anyways. So, or it could be the opposite, since we don't have a lot of people listening. It could just be all of them till the end. You know, we don't really know. But like, this is so dumb. I still wouldn't do anything. I'm positive I just like would let everyone die, because then I would die right after that, and I'm not saving anybody.
That's I'm gonna be honest, I don't fully get the thought process there, but sure, man.
Because my whole thing is too, I'm leaving Sarah with all of our finances that because I don't have life insurance yet, so I'm
Bro,
leaving her with all these finances, you know, all this stuff if I die. And I'm like, oh, boo-hoo. She doesn't have life insurance either, so there's really no reason for us to kill her. Uh,
well, I'm doing the math here. I don't have life insurance, so I guess I'll destroy planet Earth. Wait, Ben, was there a knock at your cabin?
there was a knock at the cabin.
Oh shoot.
It's my wife though, so we're
Oh,
good.
yo,
We're good.
get her on here. Get her to answer the question.
Should we?
Would she knock at the cabin?
Hey, Sarah, come here. What we're talking about is knock at the cabin, and what would we do in this situation? Because we find out that because she didn't finish.
Me and you and Maya.
It's you, me, and Maya. Are we are we letting everyone die, or are we not? Are we just going to sacrifice one of the three of us?
I don't know what I would do.
So I say, hands down, I would kill Maya. No, I'm kidding.
No,
Get
why don't you
closer
tell
so you
her?
can talk.
Tell her your actual opinion.
I don't know.
So my thing is, you don't have life insurance, so there's no reason for me to sacrifice you, because then we won't make any. I won't have any money. And then, like, first of all, you wouldn't sacrifice me because
Well, that would be the smart thing.
no,
to do,
listen,
apparently.
no, you
We
would.
do have life insurance.
You wouldn't sacrifice me, because then I'd leave you with this whole house that you have to pay for and all that stuff. So, yeah,
You could swing it.
you could swing it. So you're actually debating.
No, I'm not.
So tell the microphone. You got to be loud.
I don't know what I would do.
We can hear her fine.
Like I don't want to be in this situation.
Well, no one, babe, because we were just chosen. If Dave Bautista walks down those stairs right now with Rupert Grint and his bad accent.
Also, if you get Abby Quinn over, if you could forward me her phone number, that would be very nice of you to do. But that's another conversation.
Well, if she's watching, that's really awkward.
So, I know, if she's watching, I've already won.
That's true. Well, with that, Sarah, I think what you didn't answer it. Would you just let everyone die and let the apocalypse happen?
Probably for a little bit, like they did. I mean, like I wouldn't believe them right away, you know.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying.
So I mean, for a little bit, yeah, that's what would happen.
Sure.
In the end, I don't know.
Are you sacrificing you, me, or Maya, or no one?
I have to do someone.
You have to do someone?
Don't you think?
I chose no. I said I'm not doing it.
I mean, I can't decide on anyone, but
Are
I
you
feel like I would-
volunteering to be sacrificed?
no.
Well, then I'm not volunteering to be
So
sacrificed.
I guess no one then.
No one?
Yeah.
Because we're definitely not killing
No,
Maya.
there's no way. she's
Maya,
not
hands
going.
down. What if Maya sacrifices herself?
You
She
can't
would
kill yourself.
not
That's part of the
even
rules.
Have the
Oh yeah,
ability
yeah.
to do that.
We can't kill ourselves. Anyways, well, Sarah, thank you for being a part of this episode. Everybody, let's give her. Let's add some hand claps and some audience cheering here for her as she gets
Ooh.
scooted off the screen. Over
Yeah,
there.
we gotta have her on
Nice
a
for
full
you.
episode sometime.
I'm sorry.
Love your wings.
You have my wings. Thank you. Thank you. Well, there you guys go. We're answering the
Yeah.
hard-hitting questions that everyone's been asking us. Yeah. Cameron, you got anything else to add?
I mean, I don't think there's really a way to top an interview, a live
A live
at the cabin
interview,
situation,
unscripted.
an unscripted knock at the cabin just now.
Mhm.
So I think this is a good place to end it. A really good high note. I'll summarize by saying there were some great performances, great cinematography, and a good premise. If you go in blind, which is hard to do after watching this podcast, you will enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah. Right.
But there's enough good there to say I'd say it's worth at least renting it digitally, but it's not a movie you should never watch.
I think it's a painfully average movie with a plot that's good. But if you know what it is already, then don't waste your money. You can watch the movie for free with the trailer.
To be fair to M. Night, you didn't see the most interesting parts of the movie. You did leave for like the last half.
That's true. No, and I'll agree with that. You know, that's true.
Yeah. So yeah. That's gonna do it today, guys. Why don't you go ahead and hit that like button down below? Tell me in the comments, would you knock at the cabin?
It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us. Steady treated, we get tricked. Steady kisses, we